To the west of Silver Rock, there lies a fiery mountain, the Colossus Caldara, where the red worm Nidhog makes its nest. The beast was once the promising young dragonborn Garrick Brightscale, who through treachery by the royal dragons of Dragon's Rest corrupted his soul with vile infernal energy in an attempt to cleanse King Bahoom of a demonic malady. In a future our heroes hoped to avoid, the dreadworm Nidhogg had turned the lands of Silver Rock into a blighted desolation. Seeking a brighter end for their once friend, Wolfgang, Asmo, Danir, and Nara have prepared an attempted remedy to soothe the dragon's raging heart and bring back the Garrick they once knew. As their caravan of gifts gets packed, our heroes look to the smoking mountains to their west as they attempt one more good night of rest before the fated journey. All but one. Danir. You sit in your office, preparing for your nightly sojourn into the dream realm, ready to reach out to Garrick's brother, Yorick, to inform him of what's to come.
With everything prepared, Danir will go ahead and he will cast his spell. And he will cast Dream Shift. And he will fade into the Sea of Dreams.
With your newfound powers, after years spent on the time tree of Yggdrasil, you physically transport your body into the dream realm and into your dream manor. It forms around you as you float through the void of the dream space. You search out into the scape of dream-like stars glittering in the distance, focusing your mind to find the one dreaming soul you desire to commune with. You have great patience as you wait, never knowing exactly when one will drift into your realm. Time goes by as you search the sky, and then finally, you feel the tug of a string, and you're off. Traveling at preternatural speeds through this nearly realmless and textureless, substanceless void that is the dreaming. You find yourself outside of the dream of Yorick Brightscale. It's barely formed, pliant and new. As you make your way into the stalwart Dragonborn's mind.
As he enters the mind of Yorick Brightscale, the dream will shift a little bit. For the moment, it would simply be something similar to Yorick's chambers in the Dreadworm's encampment that he had seen previously in the future timeline. But he would make himself known to Yorick as he leans against a wall as he entered the room. I see you finally fallen asleep.
with kind of a start, he turns. In what guise do you present yourself?
The cloak of stars with the mask. But as soon as York turns to glance at him, he would slowly pull the mask away and show his face for just a moment before he puts the mask back on.
Oh. It's you. Am I to assume this isn't a normal dream, then?
No. You will remember every single thing that happens here. What is said here, what you see here. But I'm here to give you a heads up of what has been done and what can be done. We have a plan to attempt to save your brother. There is, I'm sure that you're well aware, there's still a piece of him deep inside. That's why he hasn't been completely lost to the rage within his heart. A rage that wasn't there to begin with. But you're going to play a critical part in this plan.
What is this plan?
I believe Daenerys will go through, and as he snaps his fingers, the scene changes, and York and Daenerys is taken into a memory. York sees the battle that happened in the previous timeline. The battle of Yorick, Ego, Id, and Daenerys against the Jester of Bordeaux.
Ah. Hold on. That's a different set of sound effects. He witnesses as the dreamscape itself shifts to a lone hilltop with a pillar sitting at the top of it. The demonic visage of the giant jester lumbering towards it in an attempt to fully grasp on to the soul of his brother. And the many, many attacks lobbied against him. Some thrown by a clone of Yorick's own hands, some blasted out by yourself, slowly but surely halting the monster's advance.
What is this?
This is what happened once before. This is how I know that this plan can work. Because another you helped me make it so. To Garrick, you are his greatest hero. And I believe that you are one of the pivotal keys to making this happen. All around us is the corruption that seeps through his body. I plan to bring us to this very location with medicine that will be used to temporarily loosen the corruption, and I plan to remove it from his body. At the same time, you and the others will be working on trying to, he points towards the pillar, reach out to his soul. And he motions and he allows Yorick to watch as the end of the battle happened, how Ego and Id vanished, how the pillar formed, and from it emerged the spirit of Garrick. And he allows Yorick to watch the words that was said by Garrick to his brother.
As the clouds part in the sky, the scene plays out before him. You see tears, though not true tears, but his dream self, his eyes begin to well up as he steps towards that shimmering figure, the visage of his brother that he hasn't seen in, at this point, the better part of 6 years. As the scene plays out to its conclusion, and the soul, the construct that is Garrick, fades back into the central core of his mind. Garrick, much like his future self, stepping almost into the silhouette of his future self, reaches towards him and clenches his fist as the stone becomes but a pillar once again.
He gives Yorick a few moments before he speaks again. We're beginning preparations. We will be bringing a shipment of Yumberry wine tribute to Nidhog. As led by Wolfgang, one leader to another, offering said tribute to the greater leader, so to say. We hope to lure Nidhogg into a slumber where we will all enter his dream, and there we will hope to purge this corruption from his body and his soul.
As Yorick collects himself, trying to maintain a stoic demeanor, he turns to you.
And other than entering his mind, what part would you have me play?
Any assistance that you can give us in getting in easily, getting audience with Nidhogg easily, and most importantly, I know that this one is the most dangerous. We have to try to keep Nidhogg calm at all times. If he raises his guard, he will be less likely to fall asleep.
I will do what I can on the former, though the presence of newcomers will be the most variable of these particular issues.
Are there any topics, anything that we should speak about in his presence? Is there any topics that we should not speak about in his presence? I understand that he despises his creation, the fact of his creation being brought up to him.
Play to his ego. Speak of his greatness. If he acts intimidating, be intimidated. If he acts kind, be grateful. The parts that are most likely to set him off would be anything that remind him of who he once was. Sometimes it leaves him in a state of contemplation, but others it's as though his mind can't handle it, and he goes into a sort of tantrum.
I believe I've seen one of these tantrums firsthand. You should also be warned. He motions towards the now fallen figure of the jester. When we approached Nidhogg previously, he made a play. He attempted to try to wrap chains, spectral chains around Nidhogg in an attempt to take control of his body. We don't know where the Jester of Bordeaux is at the moment, but we're not sure if he will or will not try to make a play at this point as well.
If that were to happen, I'm afraid keeping him calm would be off the table.
Indeed. Do you have any information for us about the new guests that have been in Nidhogg's care, in his presence, those of the north?
There are no envoys currently among us. The last we saw of them, they were delivering a shipment of weapons and armor. They claimed they'd be back in another moon with another set, but that should be another 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Good, that's one variable off the table. Is there any other information that you feel that you might need from us, or that you feel that we would need?
He looks as though he's still trying to put all of the information that you're giving him together, and trying to figure out exactly like all of the parts of this plan that he will need to kind of coerce on his end. Doing a lot of mental arithmetic right now.
Mm-hmm.
How is it you intend to pacify him and enter his dreams? Are you just going to wait for him to fall asleep?
We have the Yumberry wine that we're bringing to him as a gift. We have a sedative added within it. The Yumberry wine is powerful enough to cover the taste of it. So we'd be offering the tribute to him directly. Any kind of spells of detecting poison wouldn't work for it because alcohol is poison in and of itself. So even if somebody did try to cast spells to see if the wine was magical or what have you, Yumberries in and of themselves are quite magical, and liquor is poisonous in and of itself.
We'll have to make sure that he doesn't keep his guard up enough to make others taste it before he does. Though his pride may make it so that he doesn't even decide to do that either.
You say that instances from his past are trouble, specifically with him. Will us bringing Asmo with us have any kind of issues with that?
I honestly don't know. He's very hard to read at the best of times. I know they shared a bond.
Very much so. In another life, he was one of Nidhog's generals.
That's it!
Asmo sneezes in his sleep.
With nobody of the north here, that's one variable that's out of the way. It would be just to run down everything. Get in, make sure that we placate his ego, act scared when he wants to be scary, be grateful when he wants to be generous. Follow basically the words that the Herald has given, and as soon as we get everything going, we have to move fast. Another thing that we need to acquire from him, I believe that there is in his possession, or in his either hoard or on his person, or in his person, is a fragment of a red gem. I'm going to be bringing one of these, a large collection of these gems as a tool to help seep away the corruption. If we can get that away from him, I think that will help as well. But I'm worried that the only way to get it, if it is laying in his gut, is to go in the hard way.
That may be trickier.
In what regards?
Well, not waking him while entering the body. I might be able to work something out with somebody, though. The question would
It
be
might
locating it.
It might be something that we might have to deal with after the fact. Remove as much of the corruption as we can from his mind, and after hopefully he's in a better state, he'd be willing to help us out on that front. Worst case scenario, we might be able to use magic to get in and out, but I think I know who you're talking about that might be able to help us with the second fact.
When should we be expecting you?
Lani, how long would it take us to basically get there?
With the caravan you'll be traveling with, it'd probably be about a 2-day march.
The caravan will take about 2 days to be able to get there. Depending on how much trouble we have on the road, which is unlikely, it may be a little bit longer, but I can keep in contact with you.
Very well. Contact me again tomorrow night. I should have more information.
Understood.
One more question.
Of course.
You made it sound as though you'd be able to purify this corruption.
That's the hope, yes.
More so than what I just witnessed.
Yes. In the previous incarnation, we were able to give him more of his mind back, but the corruption still stayed in his form due to the sheer amount of time and the pressure that we were under. This time we're taking it a lot slower, we're a lot more planned out, and we have a more solid game plan to take the corruption from him. He motions towards the shield. We already have a foothold within his mind, thankfully. This is why he's been able to keep some part of his mind throughout the years.
I take it that's your doing.
It is. I noticed his mind crying out in pain during the desolation. Thankfully, I was able to be here to set it up for him.
And for that, you have my undying gratitude.
Gives a nod.
We'll confer again tomorrow evening.
Very
Travel
well.
safe.
Be safe as well, Yorick.
I'll confer.
And with that,
I'll confer with my loyals.
he gives a bit of a nod. He fades through the dome, and as he fades, the dream shifts, and it becomes a more pleasant dream for Yorick. As Denier slips out of his dream bubble, he will go ahead and take this opportunity to set himself a plan. I cast Contingency upon myself.
Okay, what's that do?
Basically, I choose a spell that is 5th level or lower, and then I choose a thing that triggers said spell.
Okay. So what
And
spell do
upon
you
that
choose,
triggering-
and what's the trigger?
The spell is Greater Invisibility, and the trigger is Denier saying, "You're done when I say you're done."
And how long will this last?
It lasts 10 days.
Oh, wow.
It is what he was using inside of the world tree to protect his mind against outside influence. Anytime that he would be forced to make a wisdom save that's outside of his own control, he would immediately pop a contingency with protection from good and evil.
All right. So with this spell placed, a floating moat, a semi-transparent arcane ward flashes into existence, hovers around you, almost kind of like in atomic orbit, and then fades from view. As you
He
leave-
glances
Oh, sorry.
over. He glances over from the dream realm, in the direction of Theradoc Firefang's dream bubble. He looks at it for just a second, but he leaves. And he returns back to whatever he needs to do for the rest of the night.
All right, you return to your dreamatorium. When you return to your space, the demonic crystal skull that you have locked away within your dream mansion is the only thing waiting for you. It stares at you, regarding you with a unseen consciousness.
He stares at it for a few long moments, thinking about the words that have been said in the past and the actions that will be held in the future. He has a plan. He just needs to see it done. He has to get the final few pieces, and he walks deeper into the mansion, leaving the skull under its many, many wards, many glyphs, and many protections.
Though its eye sockets are empty, you feel as though eyes are tracking you the whole way through the room. The next morning, a lot of you gather at the front gates of the town. The caravan slowly loading up. You have a contingency of about a dozen soldiers traveling with you, most of which wear the sigils of the Kylum Diaboli, but some of which, about a third of which bear the emblems of Silver Rock and its military regalia.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you real quick for who was coming along. For Asmo, he would ask Earth to stay and pretty much be the de facto sheriff or chief constabulary, whatever you want to call it. Would Asmo be able to bring two guys with him? Two along with?
Two.
If not, no worries.
Do you have two particular people in mind, or would you just want part of your contingency to be some people that would be directly under your command?
One guy in particular, and it would be the person who was in jail for a while. Yes, him. If not, if you don't think this is a good idea, it's okay. I was supposed to ask you about that before the session.
The only part I recall is that you guys had a conversation about possibly bringing him. Where did you guys land on that one?
The idea was using him before we even left, so now I'm just bringing him along because he actually really hates magic, and we're dealing with a bunch of magic people, so I figured that might be a good fit.
Well, he specifically hates sorcerers.
And that's what the North has a bunch of. Unless someone else has someone else would convince Asmo no before the thing started up.
Denier would have given all the information that he had to everybody as they're setting up, so you would have his conversation with Garrick.
Yeah, if Asmo was really set on bringing this guy, Wolfgang wouldn't fight him too hard on it.
I'm not dead set on it. I'm just wild card. But all right, Asmo's gonna leave him behind. Never mind.
All right. Yeah,
Earth's gonna be in charge of him.
Probably for the best to get him to know the town a bit better if he's going to be working there.
Yeah, okay.
He is as of yet unproven, I guess, is the consensus that was reached, and may or may not attempt to flee if given the chance.
Gotcha. All right.
Making sure to pack everything up. The list of things that you'll be bringing with you. There are several decanters of Yumberry wine in crystal bottles leafed with gold and silver, intertwined. What looks to be kind of like a rolled up table mat from Hackless's shop. which, when unfurled, will present a hero's feast that feeds up to 20.
Damn.
It has a charge of once per day.
Damn.
Yep.
Heroes feast once per day?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Wait, what? How many HP? How many temporary hit points does it give us? Did I miss that?
It is a very powerful enchanted item that Hackless wants to be paid quite a bit more for.
Oh man, it's really
Tell him
good.
we won't find him for harassment if he gives it to us.
So, Heroes Feast.
No.
You said 20?
I mean, it casts Hero's Feast when it's unfurled. Up to 20 people it feeds.
Up to 20
yeah,
people.
and it's not temporary hit points; it's max hit points. It increases your hit point maximum by 2d10 for 24 hours.
Which are technically temporary hit points, but you can be healed back up to that.
Yeah, that's why.
You also become immune to being poisoned, immune to being frightened, and you make all wisdom saving throws with advantage.
That last part, as a fighter, is very wonderful to hear.
Sorry, what was the last part? And
Creatures cured of all diseases and poison becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum also increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points.
Venariel doesn't exactly go into the details, but it was an endeavor to get it from him.
God
I can imagine.
Damn.
Hackless knows what he's doing when it comes to enchantments. And that's why he's one of the richer people in your town.
Wowie. Wowie.
Wowie, wowie.
Well, maybe
Wowie,
after all this
zowie.
is done, maybe after all this is done, Garrick won't be quite so attached to his horde.
We shall see, won't we?
Maybe. That's a high hope, but
It is a heck of a treasure for a heck of an endeavor.
It is. It is. Right
For
before
now,
we
let's
get
just
there. Right before we get there, we're going to use it.
let's just focus on getting there and getting the plan with Nidhog done.
For
Beyond
sure.
that, you have about 10,000 gold worth of precious gems. About 10,000 gold worth of gold.
Oof. It's a lot of shiny.
It is a lot of shiny. You got a lot of dragon to impress. And are leading about... I'll roll for this one. I have all my dice ready. 16, 20, 27 cattle.
27
Which you will be
cows.
collecting outside of the gates.
We're bringing the Ojo sauce as well.
You're also bringing plenty of yum berries, just the berries themselves, along with the wine.
It's a joke. It's a joke. But okay. Appreciate the serious answer.
No worries. But yes, with this veritable mini dragon's horde, appropriately, that you're carrying with you, the caravan seems about ready to head out. Wolfgang, you already saw your son off to school this morning. Let him know that you'll be gone for a few days. And Venariel will be staying behind along with Pogan and the higher members of the Kylum Diaboli, just in case things go south and they need to defend the town from a dragon.
I would give special instructions to the Venatores Umbra to watch Elliot carefully during this time.
He has
Because
a vast majority of them are now hovering around him and or disguising themselves as children in his class.
Oh boy.
Well,
There are a few halflings that just pull it off.
fair enough.
They just got the skill, you know?
Reason being is because he knows that the Jester has gone after Elliot in the past and the future. So he wants to be extra certain there's no loose ends on the getting Connolly blood front.
Now I want to see the Jester of Bordeaux versus the Rakshasa.
Oh my god. Nara would have checked in on Dedra and the guide, and basically, gave the guide the normal keep her safe and all that stuff. Gave her the head pats. Was like, okay, later.
She's been kind of splitting her time between, like, every now and again the guide will show up to the school and, like, collect her.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that
knowing
that, like, she willingly goes along. They're creeped out by it a bit, but the guy seems ultimately harmless despite being immensely dangerous in aura.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been kind of splitting her time between there and there. She's actually in Elliot's class.
Aww. I also would have checked on the shops in the slums. And I doubt there's any new information that would have happened right before they're leaving.
Yeah, nothing in particular has come up. The man that you sent off to look into what the hell's going on in the sewers hasn't exactly reported to Peter Popper yet.
Hasn't exactly. But he has checked in somewhere.
He came in just to check in to make sure that was the place he was supposed to report into.
Okay.
Also asked if he could learn how to write.
Aw, okay, I love that.
To which Peter Popper said that's not exactly his purview and to go find a priest or something. But yeah, that's everything seems to be on the up and up there. In the slums, you are still very much beloved. The term Night Angel is floated around a lot about you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. She just soaks that up. I mean, no other commentary needed. Inflated her ego, and now she's ready to go talk to a dragon.
And with that, you set off down the cobblestone streets, out the gate.
For reference, I'm playing in my head the Magnificent Seven theme. Thank you.
Which one, the remake or the original?
Dun 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 dun. That one. The good one.
You begin traveling out past the outskirts of town, through the farmland where those who are working the fields or sitting out on their porches give you a kindly wave and, just kind of like watch you as you pass. The once amber fields of corn, for the most part, replaced with rolling fields of yum berries until you get to the point where the soil itself became kind of less enchanted for the yum berry and then becomes much more normal fare. Your onions, potatoes, corn, wheat. Still very fertile ground nonetheless, as the massive tree sticking up at the center of town, now fully in view in the distance behind you, continues to spread its roots through the land, making the ground itself more and more hospitable to life. It's a stark reminder of the future that you seek to avoid. You're traveled along with by some of the farmers' children for a while as they kind of like chase you guys from the sides of the road, like waving, laughing, and playing in the field as the day drags on. Eventually you travel just a little too far and they head back. As the hillside of Silver Rock, the mountainous ore-rich hills begin to drift into the distance as well. It's a pleasant, if a little boring, journey. with the
That's scenic, and we've done it a few times.
with the particular crew that you're traveling with, in the numbers that you're traveling with, any wayward roadside bandit definitely wouldn't fuck with you, though a few travelers that cross your path do kind of give you the side eye, trying to get a glimpse into what you're carrying in the wagons.
Nara would be flying on the pixie stick and, like, going around it like a drill bit.
Just kind of like circling the caravan like a hawk, basically.
No. I mean on the pixie stick.
Oh, like spinning on the stick itself twirling in a lateral motion?
Yeah, trying to, like, keep the pixie stick straight, but she's, they've been walking for what, more than 10 minutes? So yeah, she's bored. And
a bit more than 10 minutes,
now,
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you barrel rolling right now?
She's barrel rolling on the pixie stick, but trying to keep the stick, like, straight. So it's one of those things, when someone, like, crawls around a chair as it sits on the ground. She's, like, trying to do that around the pixie stick. I don't know how successful she is.
You have a very good center of balance. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check, first of all.
Thank you. 4.
It's a bit wobbly. With that also...
I mean, we have time to work on it.
Sure,
so
but
okay.
Your stomach is also feeling the spinning. Give me a constitution check with that 4.
For sure. 4 also. On both sides. Again.
Amazing, actually. So, between the wobbling and the barrel roll, how high up do you believe you are?
Oh, not that high. Like, she knows that this is like an experiment. So she would be, like a little around horse height, if not a little lower.
Okay, well, you absolutely fall to the ground a few times in your experiment, just with this one needing the grip strength to do what you're trying to do, as the pixie stick itself is, while perfectly rideable, not exactly the easiest to ride upside down. Even when kind of like hooking your legs on it, like the amount of grip you'd need to have in your fingers is tricky.
Mm-hmm.
So you absolutely fall a number of times doing this, and it is it would be an endeavor to make this particular maneuver something that you feel comfortable with at any given time.
How many days are we traveling?
2. I mean, you'll kind of like reach the edge of their territory by the dusk of the second day, basically.
Okay. Yeah, she'll just be practicing all the ways that she can fuck around while on that pixie stick.
Anybody else making use of their travel time? Learning to whittle, whatnot?
Learning to play the flute. Wolfgang would probably be conferring a lot with Denier over the course of the journey, just going over the plan, just like over and over again, just making absolutely sure nothing goes off on the team.
I feel like... Oh, sorry.
Just going over everything that could happen, everything that might happen. He is nervous about this, visibly.
Asmo is on the back of one of the carriages. I say we have several of them, right?
Yeah.
Asmo's sitting on the back, and he's like, "How?" So he's like pretty much like shaving an apple, like to take the skin off. And the question is, where is Nara? Is she like flying around?
You're watching as she's trying to do barrel rolls very shakily, and about every 3 or 4 minutes, she just falls to the ground, gets up, brushes herself off, and gets back on the stick, flies for a few minutes, then decides to try to spin again.
Asmo holds up the apple for her to grab, essentially, without even looking. Just looking for another apple, essentially.
Oh, then she will grab it and just, like, hang sloth-like underneath while eating it.
One of the horses that's following you, Asmo, is just kind of like phantom chewing and looking at that apple, just
Nara will glare at it as if it was like a potential love interest.
Roll intimidation on the horse.
I'm gonna.
Intimidate the horse.
16, back off. Pony.
It kind of bristles, kind of shakes its head, and like kind of slows down a bit. The rider, hey, whoa, whoa. It does its
Goes
best
back
not
to
to make
eating an
eye
apple like
contact
a
anymore.
sloth.
Does its best not
Yeah.
to make eye contact anymore. It knows it is not worthy of apples.
Wise.
Butterscotch will go without apples tonight.
Hey, you want another? Oh, she's gone.
Speaking of night, you reach kind of an area where the road forks. You can decide to either travel southward and head through Amberglade, or continue straight through open field, which would eventually lead you to Fallwood Barrow. Essentially, you're deciding whether to camp out or travel to Amberglade. Amberglade will take a little bit of extra time, but the amenities will be a bit more comfortable.
Yeah. So where are we going? Are we stopping ahead? Or are we going to make it to Amberglade by the end of the night? These carts are taking forever.
Ugh. Asmo steps over at one to get in front where they're having the horses lead.
Yeah, hard to say. I don't think we're getting to Amberglade tonight.
I mean, what time is it? It's like, where's the moon at?
Asmo's kind of like eyeballing it through some trees.
It's late afternoon. Wolfgang's probably right. You'd probably make it to the outskirts of Amberglade, or make it, to Amberglade, but it would be past dusk.
What are you thinking? I'm asking you because Danier's been quiet and, Nara's doing his
Gestures above him, the spins.
Falls again.
Oh, good.
Well, yeah, we might just have to bite the bullet here and set up camp.
So you decide to forge ahead and camp out in the field?
Yeah, probably.
Wouldn't be any danger there, right?
Give me a nature check. Any of you, I suppose?
I'm gonna do it too. 11.
Let's see.
21.
Let's see. 20.
That's not going through. Come on, you.
Get in there. Get in there right now.
It's all jammed up.
3.
They're like multiple.
Go, Wolfgang!
I know, there's
Go,
plants everywhere.
banana!
4.
We got
All right.
we got grass.
Gotta hit grass.
Wow.
I haven't
No,
done this for a while, actually, and coming to realize.
Denier, the event that kind of sticks to your mind, this is, and actually, Wolfgang, I'd probably give you advantage on this one if you want to roll one more.
Ooh.
Just given the nature of your profession.
This is Troll/Hill Giant territory, isn't it?
19.
It is, in fact, Troll/Hill Giant territory. In fact, you remember that these are the exact hills that you found Go-Chunk, who you convinced to attack Barristan Kench's standing army. Some of the men that are traveling, a couple of the men that are traveling with you actually recall that attack, as they were part of that standing army.
Oh, oopie. Nara's like spinning and laughing while looking around then.
Would Nara have been a part of that?
I watched
Nara
from
was
afar.
Nara was there.
Okay, yeah.
Nara was
Yeah,
in the towers.
I ate popcorn in the tower
Timeline.
with you guys.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
She was there during Barristan's rebellion.
Maybe she was like, maybe like just in the bushes, just being like, "Whoa, so much content. I don't know. I wasn't there.
No, I mean she was actively in the party during that.
It's true.
Yeah.
I know. I'm joking. God damn it.
I know we've been doing this for a while.
Fuck.
But yeah, you guys begin to kind of like set up camp. You do hear the murmurings of people, of some of the soldiers that you're traveling with, talking about the ferocity of the troll attack before the battle in the morning. That here we go. That they inevitably lost after the weird red man that showed up and then got blasted away.
Yeah, it was weird. All right.
Wow.
Let's see. Where is my sound? Do I not have a camp sound? I feel like I did. Oh well, this will have to do. As you set up camp for the night, a watch is established. Many eyes are kept on the dark hills to your south.
Daenerys will set up 2 instances of his tower to give the watch better ground and places to hide.
They happily use it as a watchtower and a barracks.
I won't lie. It's nice having people here to watch. They must having to take turns. Oh, things have changed. Almost for the better.
A pen is set up for the cattle that you're traveling with. The wagons kind of used as walls between, like essentially your towers are set up in a way that the cows are standing in between the 2 towers. A few tents are set up around there, and the 2 the caravan wagons are kind of used to kind of block off the spaces where the cows might wander off beyond the towers, kind of creating like 4th walls for them. Is there anything anybody would like to do for the evening?
Nara's gonna jettison upwards and scout all around them.
Okay.
You know, it's also another thing.
As I was just kind of gesturing to Wolfgang.
I gotta say, Nara just never sleeping is, well, blessing and a curse, and right now it's in the blessing stages.
From way up high.
How high?
Shoot, could you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, we could hear you.
Yes.
Okay, shit. Sorry. All right. I have no idea.
Oh.
What? What?
Nice ass!
Now she scouts. Like high enough that you could see the surrounding area. That was all.
So about 60 feet, 70 feet?
Yeah, probably like 70.
All right. Go ahead and make your swirl around the camp. The night holds next to no mystery to your eyes. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Right. Oh my god. Natural 1. She's so distracted by Asmo's ass that I have a 13.
What the fuck?
It's very distracting. Extra meaty
I'm
today.
so glad I said that before I started.
That's good.
At least it makes
It's
sense now.
A lot of
Like, you
steps
don't know
and
what it is.
a lot of
Maybe
steps
like
to go
he's doing like more bridges. Maybe he's doing some like
Yeah.
You know what?
like
There's a
squats.
lot
Just
of
really
steps.
thinking about it,
There's
it's like,
just so many
wow, I don't-
steps. He's
Yeah,
just got so many
going
stairs to climb up all the time.
Up and down all those towers, you know, like
Yep.
whew.
Yep.
He
Just
puts
keep
in the-
working it.
Puts in the legwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't notice it. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary except the smuggled hams in Asmo's pants.
Watch out for that tree.
Wow. Dang. All right.
That snake
Coming back down.
That snake's got a lot of beef.
She goes up that high and basically mainly looks at Asmo and kind of forgets to look around.
Just going for a complete 360 view.
Yeah, honestly, she flies around the camp, but then doesn't really, take in what she's flying around for. She's just getting that 360 scope of Asmo.
Yeah, just target acquired.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. Scanning other people. Wolfgang. Dad surrogate tells you what to do. Denier.
Asmo.
Throws a tiny pebble. Throws a tiny pebble. Tries to land it in Wolfgang's hat.
I'm currently wearing it, so that's going to be quite the feat.
Yeah. Wait, you are wearing it?
I'm wearing it.
Oh my god, does it hit? Nick, I have to know.
I guess, do you have any throwing weapon that you could roll as like this would be just dexterity plus proficiency, I guess.
I mean, that's Tango Muerte that I would be rolling.
That's... no, Tango Muerte is a +3 weapon, so not quite. This is just a regular pebble that you're holding,
Okay. Hang on. Let me do one of the advanced rollers. You said it was what plus what?
Dexterity plus proficiency. So whatever your dex modifier, like the d20 plus your dex modifier plus your proficiency modifier.
Okay. And then my proficiency modifier for, wait, what? For where is that again?
Whatever your proficiency bonus is on your character
Your proficiency
sheet.
bonus is right underneath the spot where it says inspiration. It's right next to your strength.
Oh, so it's dex. So my dex modifier and then plus the dex proficiency bonus?
No, just the proficiency bonus itself.
Okay. Sorry. The way that was worded, I kind of misunderstood that. Okay. So d20 plus my proficiency bonus in dexterity, correct?
Correct.
Great. 15.
+2, so that'd be 17.
17. So, okay. Yes.
All right, Wolfgang, what's your AC?
My AC is 17.
Oh my god, in matches.
All right. So you hear a little tack as a pebble clatters off the rim of your hat.
He just looks around and looks up.
And
What
you
the hell was that?
Far away.
Squirrel playing a prank on me or something?
Get rocked.
Bloody squirrels.
And just so I remember, we start with temp hit points of 13 now, Connor?
I believe it is 13, yes.
Cool.
Half
Just
of
wanted
my
to make
warlock level plus my charisma modifier is... Yeah. Wait, no. It would be 11.
Oh, 11. Oh, I thought it went up to 13 at one point.
Half of my warlock level plus my charisma modifier. Half my warlock level is 6 plus 5 is 11.
Okay.
Aren't you level 13? Don't we round up?
Are we rounding up? In that case, it would be 12.
12 it is.
Yeah, we round up in this house.
Fair enough.
0.5 is closer to the next number than it is to the previous.
Fair enough.
All right. Yeah. The pebble clatters down.
Now that Nara's having a game, she'll probably stay up there and be distracted with looking at the whole camp, feeling like ants. All of them.
Soldiers traveling with you have set up a couple, haven't had really a need to set up campfires, but they do have, some people patrolling the grounds outside the towers just to make sure. They appear to be going in sets of 4 as far as the watch goes. 2 on the outside to patrol the perimeter of the towers. 2 at the top of the towers to keep an eye out for any incomers. What would everybody else be doing in the evening?
Prepping for his meeting. And getting likely Wolfgang and Asmo's attention to see if they want to be a part of that meeting.
Yeah, Wolfgang would definitely want to be paying attention and following up with Denier on that.
After Aswin gets his bedding set, he probably would reconvene with the guys too. And yell at Nara.
Oh, if she saw them like starting to have a meeting, then she would finally, which I would imagine at some point if she's been up there for a minute, she would try and scout again, I hope.
Go ahead and give me another perception check.
God, please let it be better than the last one. Come on now. Natural 20! 32!
That is, in fact, better than a nat 1.
Denise's about to start the meeting. She's already sitting cross-legged going, like, are we about time to strategize? Good.
Oh my god. Okay, so apparently whatever all I notice, it also includes them about to have a meeting.
Asmo went inside, so you're no longer distracted.
Right.
So on one hand, you're very much inclined to go inside to see what everybody's up to. On the other hand, you look out into the hills across the way. Your eyes just kind of scan the environment. You do catch a couple of large bulbous shapes with glistening eyes staring from the shadows of one of the hillocks nearby.
A couple? So like 2?
It looks like 2 bulbous shapes with 2 sets of eyes, yes.
Okay. Interesting. Do they see me, or are they just looking this direction?
Their eyes appear to be... I mean, it's kind of hard for you to tell exactly what they're looking at, but you can go ahead and give me a stealth check if you're attempting to be hidden. I mean, you're in the sky, so odds are you're probably a bit better hidden, but...
12. Not encouraging for me.
They've probably seen you. You're not
Okay.
entirely sure. If only because, like, your entire group has kind of made a spectacle of itself, and you haven't been quiet up there. You're not certain that they've seen you, but you're erring on the side of caution that they probably
It's like,
have.
shit, we are... This is... Oh, fine. Okay. Well, she'll just keep a little peepsies on that, and if that's as exciting as it gets, she'll come back down
Okay.
and join wherever Asma walked off to.
All right. You head into the tower that those guys walked into.
Asmo sees her coming in. Just kind of looks at her, gives her a weird look. Hey, kind of gestures a little bit. Nara.
Yeah. Yes. What's up?
Why were you staring at me from the sky the whole time?
I was getting a better view.
Of the camp, right?
No.
Vultures circle prey. I like Saudu bird. Like it's I don't know. You know, like what's okay.
Do you want to be my prey tonight?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that strategy meeting is what we're talking about. Distraction. Yes.
We can talk about that's strategy. Sure.
Yeah.
Fine. Also, there's 2 giant things in the woods.
I was taking a sip of water.
What?
Yeah, big blobby things and 2 sets of eyes. They probably saw me.
Asmo Jet looks at, like, Denier and Wolfgang.
Likely a troll or a hill giant.
Maybe
Probably
just-
trolls.
Yeah. Should you guys tell someone about that? I told you, so my responsibility is now done.
All right, 1 second. Let me go tell the guards, I guess. Unless, any other opinions?
Asmo gestures to the other 2.
If they
No.
attack, it's going to be a problem. But I suspect at least 2 of us would be able to take care of them easily enough.
Well, I'll warn the guards all the same so they don't just go swinging.
Asmo steps out to go alert the guards that there is somebody there, but to not engage. Don't attack unless, like, they attack. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Asmo steps out for a few minutes to do that real quick.
All right, you step out there. You find the nearest guard. Appears to be a young woman decked out in the Kylum garb. Oh, Commander Asmo.
Yes. Callum Diabo, like it. Soldier. Asmo just kind of awkwardly salutes because he's still flustered from earlier. He's just like, all right, been given reports that there is somebody on the outskirts. Appears to be two either trolls or giants of some kind nearby the camp. I don't know if you've already seen them already. However, our scout did. She saw them. So you're alerted to that. Please alert the other guards about that, but do not engage unless, they attack. Probably now they could just...
Her eyes go off to the distance of the hills. Let's see if she notices. I think I see them out there.
Well, if they're being passive and watching, don't do anything.
Are you sure? They could become a problem later.
Problem is, this race is indigenous to this area, so technically we're in its turf. So, see a giant caravan leaving the shiny silver rock, you might pay attention to it. And besides, the person who spotted them, I think, was very clever in doing so. And now you're able to see it. So, as far as I'm concerned, keep an eye on them. If they do anything outside of just observing, notify any of us, Denier, Wolfgang, myself, and even Nara. Queen of the Ma. Hallowed and glory to her name. May her reign be 1,000 years. All right, so we good?
If those are your orders.
Well, don't attack it, but just be observant. You know how to do this. You know how to handle. You know not to escalate. I shouldn't be speaking to you. This is Wolfgang's thing. Can you tell that's why I don't talk to you guys?
Asmo tries to be lighthearted.
I understand. We've just been trained to hunt things like that, so leaving them alone is a little out of our nature.
You're trained to hunt them, not to only hunt them. Besides, who knows what they are and who knows what they're watching. When we go talk to the others, and we'll deal with it as it comes up.
Okay.
Be mindful.
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Alrighty. Okay, I will do that. Come on, big money. 12.
There's definitely seems to be a part of her that is confidence. You're unsure if it is a earned confidence or not within this young woman.
Dang. Saw a lot in her expression on her face, but okay. All right, so I was going to head back to that meeting then.
All right, they stand guard and wait for an attack.
Asmo walks back into the meeting tent, I guess. We're in a tent, yeah?
Yes.
No, you're in a
No?
tower.
Tower. That's
Right, we're in his tower, yeah.
All right, so as you walk in, it looks like the Nir's already mid conversation. Showed him everything that he needed to see. Got a brief overview of everything going on. He requested another meeting tonight so that he can give us more pertinent information about what's going on. I decided to leave the offer open to any of you that wanted to follow along, but given that there may be trolls out in the woods, we may want to leave part of the party here just so that if there is a troll incursion, that somebody is here along with the Kylum to be able to handle it in case something goes wrong.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I feel like I should... Well, either I'm staying or going, depending. Daenerys, how are you feeling about this? Nara, Wolfgang.
Do you want to kill him? We can kill him.
No, not immediately. Not first reaction.
What do you mean? Why would it not be?
Because this will be like a last-ditch effort, and we should be absolutely brutal at it when it comes to that, but not like beforehand. We should not have to deal with that mess.
Saves me having to hunt for little ass.
I know, but they're giant trolls.
Yeah, I know he'd eat for so long.
I know, but they're big. That means they're like they smash a lot. I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know them. Maybe they're nice. Okay, I don't even know why they're watching, but we let's not pretend that we're not noticeable. One of us is dressed in all white, for goodness sake.
If the ground shakes, we'll go eat him. I mean, kill him.
Ugh.
With my knowledge of monsters, trolls, what's their temperament like?
Won't necessarily make you roll for some of this information, but if you want anything more specific, you know that they are creatures that are... I mean, they're territorial as any creature kind of is. They're part of the giant family. Like, more monstrous than a normal giant. Kind of hard to reason with unless they believe themselves to be in danger. They do have a self-preservation streak, but like any monstrous creature, they are, for the most part, led by their stomach. Odds are, if there's anything that's attracting them other than, like, obviously noticing the campfire, it might be the cacophonous sound of mooing coming from between the towers. And odds are, if there are some trolls out there, probably coming to, like, weighing the odds of them succeeding at getting some cow versus them being slaughtered to a person.
Well, it ain't impossible to reason with them, but... Part of my instinct is telling me to, if they haven't seen us yet, just leave them alone, but... The other half of me is telling me better safe than sorry. Don't know. I'm of two minds.
That's the right take. I agree. We better be safe than sorry. Maybe have to derail us talking about this, but if we got trolls nearby, that's become makes a nervous look.
Could take care of dinner.
At this stage in your career, even after not having fought for a little while, that trolls aren't exactly a threat to any one of you. Even two trolls, when compared to one of you, would be kind of nothing.
I don't think we have to worry too much about it. If I'm being perfectly frank, trolls, with our power, we could handle easily. They are weak to fire. We have that in abundance, so... In all likelihood, we'd end up scaring it away if it even tried anything. We've got plenty of people here. They're not sneaky enough to really steal anything from us.
Lani, how far are we from the nearest settlement?
Proper settlement would be either Amberglade through the hills or Fallwood Barrow, which is about most of a day's march from here. Kind of equidistant between Fallwood Barrow and Silver Rock, so arguably the farmland of Silver Rock is closer, and some of the outskirt townlets.
No problem for us, absolutely. What about the farmers?
That's what the
good point.
Like the Kylum actually ends up taking a lot of contracts doing that, which is potentially why the young woman was so confident in being able to handle a troll or two. At least with the numbers that you guys have.
Wolfgang gets sort of an odd glint in his eye when you mention that. Hell, you're probably right.
Wolfgang, at this point, I've learned don't take risks, don't take chances. If you see a threat, it gets eliminated before it becomes a problem. And as he says that, there is a coldness in his eye.
Hear it in his voice.
He just
Still pretty worked up, huh? Asmo looks at Denier.
I've seen a lot of shit.
Hmm. Heard a lot of typey.
The ground rumbles will go out and eat him.
Should we even wait for that?
I'd say you'll probably have just enough time to talk about whatever it was you were going to talk about before I brought up the trolls and everyone started panicking about, oh, trolls. And then we can go handle it, right?
We should probably handle it now.
Good. Got some nerves anyways from this encounter. Wouldn't mind shaking them off, or at least scaring them away. Either way.
Is there anything important we need to talk about before this happens? Because you know how things can often go wrong when it comes to us.
I relay everything, once again, everything that I had in the meeting with Yorick.
So he's on board. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about Bardiche.
Worried in what way?
I'm worried that, well, they're there. I'm not sure if she's going to be entirely on board with this.
You know that Denier is, based on what Denier has told you, he's going to confer with him again tonight, and he does have the ability to pull you guys into said dream as well now.
Ooh.
Which is why he was saying, literally, he wants some of you to be at the meeting, but he wants to know who wants to be there and who wants to watch the camp.
Definitely Wolfgang wants to be in that meeting.
But now it seems like want to deal with trolls first.
We can do trolls and meeting.
I mean, would it be worth splitting our focus on this? I know the old adage, never split the party, but I think if you take some members of the Kylum and Asmo, it should probably not be a problem.
Wolfgang, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Insight.
With
How
advantage.
big were the bulbous things that I saw?
Na.
From the distance, they were large creatures.
Okay.
They're big boys.
25.
The Kylum members that you brought with you are, like, first of all, they're very much graduates. You did not bring cadets with you. These are full-on members of the Kylum Diaboli who go out on excursions and deal with threats. The people that you brought with you, if you sent half of them, would be able to handle 2 trolls without much issue. A couple, like the two that were seen. If they go and confer with a larger community, maybe there are more. But at the moment, there are 2 watching.
I mean, if I'm being... It feels... Maybe it's the father in me, but...
You go with them, and I'll go with Denier. Makes more sense. I should talk to Yarrick anyways about the demeanor.
I think I should be present for this meeting as well.
Well, we're in a tricky situation.
I am My magic in my blood is integral to this.
Fair enough.
The Kylum will be fine. I trust them, and their judgment in this.
Plus, not to mention, the other me has been training them for how long now? Pitting them against who knows what? They got skills.
This is what they exist for. I say cut them loose.
So you wish to relay the order for the Kylum to send out a squad to deal with the snooping trolls or hill giants?
Yeah, I guess that's what's happening.
Now I'm trying to remember if there were any heal giants in this area from previous sessions, and we had a good rapport with them. That's what's fucking with my head.
You didn't exactly have a good rapport with any of the creatures living in these hills. You just happened to scare the shit out of the one troll that you came across and convinced him that there would be a better, more glorious meal in the army than there would be trying to fight and die against you.
Ah, yes, Go Chunk, hero of meat. Long may his memory reign.
See, he's almost single-handedly turned the tide of the rebellion. Funny troll.
Their attack might have been ill-fated for them, but it certainly set Barristan's forces back.
And it delayed them long enough for Harash to be able to build a defense.
Yeah, I'm going to say that if anyone wants to stick around and help the Kylum, they're welcome to, but I think they can handle it on their own.
Nara will lead them into battle. Great idea.
Fuck yeah!
Wolfgang, maybe I should stay out. Maybe I should hang.
Your call?
Oh.
No. I wanted to watch you march into battle. Behind you.
No, I gotta go do the dream thing.
I was doing the dream thing.
What?
Wasn't I gonna do it too?
I think so. We haven't left the city for so long. We've gone insane within 8 hours of leaving it. Oh my god.
Denier, aren't I doing the dream thing?
I'm going, and whoever wants to go with me is going with me.
What I want to go?
Do you start casting, Denier?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Whoever wants to go with Denier, grab his hands now.
Make your selection now.
God damn it! She's gonna grab his hand.
As you're heading in, Wolfgang yells out, "Go kill the trolls!"
Oh my god!
Kylum Diaboli, you know what to do.
Oh my god, this is not going to be awesome.
From outside, you just hear, "Yes, sir!"
We wake back up, everyone's dead, and all the cows are
god,
gone.
please
and all the
no.
wine's been drank.
Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show.
Any time that Denier had cast Dream in the past with you, where you fell into a stupor and your mind and body just kind of drifted apart, you feel your physical form becoming lighter, almost ethereal.
Wow.
As you kind of begin to drift through the air sort of turns into this almost lava lamp-esque sort of churning fluid around you. Your body feels warm and cold, as if like a current of swirling ether bubbles and boils around you, releasing you from the shackles of reality and into the dreamscape. You feel yourself flying off into this dark, star-filled sky of shimmering various colors, and sitting, floating amidst this void, sits a lone ramshackle manor house that Denier calls his dream-atorium. Through the walls, you travel into his realm as you await the arrival of Yorick Brightscale into the realm of dreams. And here is where we will take a break. You sit in Denier's Dreamatorium for a while. For some of you, this might be your first trip into the space. The house itself seems to like wind in and around itself. The room's almost shifting at random, as if by the whim of Denier. Sometimes a door will go to one space, then it will travel to another. But eventually, you see the shift in Denier's demeanor, as if his attention is being pulled outward into the dreamscape. The house begins to shift and move. The streaks of the motes of dream outside streak past. And you find yourselves staring out the window into what appears to be a hole in space that looks in on a newly forming dream surrounding Yorick.
Oh.
To warn you all, be very careful what you say within these walls. He makes a motion of his head towards the skull.
Oh, you would bring them into the room with it?
No. Yeah, that's deeper. Okay. No, I would not, but I'm being very, very careful just in case it can hear. Basically, I'm warning them not to say anything that might be overheard.
Nara makes a big disgruntled face like, I shouldn't have come.
I should have gone in there.
I can't talk?
You can talk.
I mean, you guys would have been in here for like hours by this point, but this would have been a warning that Denier would have given you early on, probably.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And especially that they're about to learn information from Yorick. It's basically a warning, don't say shit that's confidential.
Nara pouts.
So you're saying I can't talk?
Pretty much.
Oh.
Could be worse. I could make you sign a piece of paper saying that you won't talk.
Nara looks sheepish and just stands off to the side by Asmo.
You're doing okay. It's weird. Nara.
Yeah, you might have noticed that like the space around you, while it feels like solid, space, it even smells like the interior of a home. If you like poke any of the windows, it might like ripple and react like water, even though it feels just like tapping glass. Physics has no sway here. But as the dream outside begins to come into focus as Garrick fully enters the dream realm, the space seems to be more habitable for any who would deem enter.
All right, gang. We're moving out.
Nara is following Denier's lead on this.
Let's do it.
As you travel out the door of Denier's Dreamatorium, You feel yourself pulled as if by gravity towards this dream as Denier gracefully floats down to it. Almost as if being carried by the wake of his arcane power. You float along with him down into this newly forming dreamscape. Yorick begins to become cognizant of the presence of others around him. Less surprised this time, being that this had previously been set up.
I didn't expect all of you.
Given that this is a briefing, I figured it would be most important to have everybody here for it. They have information that I don't. You have information that we don't, and we have information that you don't. So it makes sense.
Right. Well, to update you on my side, those that are loyal to Garrick are on our side. And they're ready.
Those that are not, those from the north. What can you tell us about them?
The only one from the north is the sad woman that they left.
Is that Bardiche? I don't.
Yes.
She's sad?
Less than, let's say, perhaps not sad, but apprehensive.
I think I would be too.
Hard to get a read on that one. She's loyal to her people, otherwise she probably would have attempted an escape by now. I left her out of this plan just to keep things on the up and up.
Any chance that she'll try to interfere?
She tends to stick to her own whenever she's allowed. Off in her own quarters. But the soul of my mother, and her shadow, and your spy, they are on our side.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah. Like clapping. I don't know. Like that's almost like okay.
It is an advantage. Have you made your men on the inside aware of this?
Aware of what?
The plan.
Those that I mentioned are aware, though only to the effect that I am. They know that we will be helping Nidhog fall asleep. A deep slumber. And that we shall be traveling into his mind in order to purge him of corruption and bring my brother back. Meanwhile, those on the outside will seek to remove the stone that is lodged within his digestive tract.
So we're going for both at once.
If you wish to purge him of corruption, it would seem to reason that leaving a corrupting force in his physical body would be detrimental.
Less than ideal.
This stone especially cannot fall into the wrong hands. It's a fairly powerful piece.
It'll be in safe hands, so long as it can be found. In that regard, is there a method by which you would locate this item? Anything that would make it stand out easier?
Just looks at Denier.
Usually, the crystals often react in a close proximity to others of their own kind. I intend to bring one of those said crystals with me to attempt to make the purge. No doubt it will sense the presence of the others.
Do you believe when you reveal this within Garrick's mind that the other would respond, showing itself?
Lani, is there any way that I can make a check for that? Given how long and how much I've spent with the crystal?
Even with all of your knowledge of the crystal itself, your best guess would probably still be that it will... This is something that has never been tried, so it is kind of an unknown. But you're hoping that whatever corruption you interact with within Garrick will perhaps reflect on the stone inside. So it's an unknown quantity, and without a physical stone on the outside for it to react to, hard to say really, because that's been the only interaction you've had with the crystals themselves.
That's honestly an unknown factor. Given that all my instances with the crystals themselves have been physical, one inside of his very essence and one in the physical world, there's no telling what might happen there. Any kind of spells for divination's sake may be able to locate it.
We'll see what we can pull on that front. Our scouts on the front-facing mountain, they believe they've spotted your campfires. That was the last I heard before I turned in.
Makes sense. He glances over towards Wolfgang. Is there anything that you think that you might need for this particular instance, Wolfgang?
One thing I think I'll need for sure. Does Nidhog have diamonds in his hoard?
I believe so.
I may need to make use of those. I have some already, but if things get hairy, I may need to make do with what I've got.
He sleeps on most of what he has. And those that pay fealty from the West, while not bereft of fortune, were limited of fortune, let's say. Speaking of, if you do seek an audience, I hope you brought with you something that is enticing to his appetites.
Oh, we've brought something, all right.
A couple samples, actually.
As well as hopefully enough food to replace the quote-unquote food that we took from him. In the form of cattle.
Denier will glance over towards Wolfgang. Should we show him?
I don't see why not.
Denier would wave his hand, and the tribute, a visual representation of the tribute that they would have brought with them, would appear in the room, in the dream scape that they're in.
Chests of gold, crates of fine gems, casks of fine wine.
The cows aren't there. There's just like
there's cows
a
there.
picture. Okay, I was going to say there was a picture of a window with the cows. But sure.
Just cut to the trolls eating them. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Denier's head pops up from behind a cow. I think this might help.
It will certainly be seen as a welcome tribute.
That's the hope.
I thank you again for everything that you're doing. It's been a while since any of us have had hope.
Sometimes that's all you have.
Garrick's our friend too.
Mm-hmm. When we enter, however we enter, I'm going to stick to the back. Unless I need to be front and forward. I don't want to agitate him too much.
It's hard to say how he'd react to you.
I don't even know if I should have my badge of office on my chest or not. Asma kind of just goes, I don't know if be reminded of who he is or see what I am now. I don't even know if that'll be helpful or not. I'm a variable that I could barely handle.
It's hard to say when it comes to him. Though from what I hear in a distant, alternate future, you work quite closely with us.
So I heard.
Pretty cool ride, too.
Oh, right. God. Try not to think about that too much, because then I feel like I have to do that. It's a weird thing about time, I guess. And now we're coming down to a very important moment in time, that is. So,
I've alerted my forward scouts to be ready for you. I haven't tipped my hand, but as they noticed your campfire, there will be a party of my men, including myself, waiting for you at the bottom of the mountain.
your scouts won't be trolls, will they?
He kind of looks bewildered at that.
No.
There's trolls in the area. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm bringing up. It's fine. It's fine. Hands in the air. Just asking.
We haven't had trolls in our mountains.
Wait, what? Oh, yes, never mind.
Mm-mm.
You'll be welcomed and guided. And your tribute will be presented to Nidhog. There we will attempt to put him under. And when he falls asleep, I will find you in your chambers and we will do what needs to be done, or die trying.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
He nods.
Should everything go off without a hitch, we might not even need to draw our blades.
Denier, can I go now? I kind of thought we were gonna fight something, so...
I mean, if you want to fight something after we get done with this, I can give you something to fight.
Well, I know that, I need to find little ass some food.
Not the cows we brought, though. I can't have that.
Well, I'll find something. You guys are talking about official stuff, and it's just, ugh. You know?
Is she a part of the operation?
He looks worried.
Trust me, you want me there.
I'm not
She
sure
goofs
that's
off whenever
true.
The thing about that one is she goofs off when she's bored, but when she has something to do and a task to go at hand, she gets very serious and very effective.
Why we made it out of that fight in the future?
Points at herself.
I wouldn't know about that part. I only saw my part of the fight.
Good. I was there.
We're talking about my brother's soul.
Mm-hmm.
If you aren't serious about this.
Oh, she's serious, all right. She knows how much he means to me. She's making jokes.
If it matters to Asmo, it matters to me. But I've heard all of the important information that it sounds like to me. I already know what the plan is going to be. And at this point, I need to make sure that my baby has food so that I don't have to worry about it by the time that we get there. Because he eats a lot.
I don't exactly understand the mechanism of how you enter my mind, so you're free to leave.
He kind of gestures into the air, looking kind of around confused, his eyes settling on you, Denier.
Nara, bows very graciously, thanks for the permission, and then starts looking at Denier what do I do?
Is above game. Is basically the meeting over? Does anybody else have anything that they want to say, or is that it?
Nara heard Wolfgang tell them to go kill the trolls, so she, wants to go and fight so bad.
Then, if nobody has anything that they want to say, no other information that wants to be set across, Denier will give a nod. Safe travels, Yorick. Hopefully, by this time tomorrow, your brother will be free.
He nods as you begin to lift off and drag everybody back into the dreamscape. The world's shimmering and churning around you as you feel yourself being hurtled and shunted back into reality. Outside, you hear people kind of scrambling around, kind of a cacophony of voices talking feverishly to one another.
Nara is immediately scrambling to get outside.
Some stomping around upstairs. As you open the door, Nara, you see some people. The first thing you hear is, "I don't know, they were just there and now they're gone." Oh, okay, they're back, I guess.
Are we fighting?
I see, like, kind of like in his mid-20s, young man kind of approaches you.
The fight's been over for about an hour. Where were you guys?
Over.
Well, I mean, it's just.
What did you fight? What did you kill? Where is it?
It's just a couple of trolls.
We physically went to the... Okay.
I probably should have warned them about that. God dang it.
They were just a couple of trolls. We've been trained to fight things like
Where
that.
are the troll bodies?
Well, you gotta burn the bodies, but we have the heads.
What? No. You burned them already?
Well,
You can't have burned them that fast. It was only an hour ago.
I mean, they're being burned. They aren't exactly good for eating.
She runs.
Just let her do it.
Just let her do it. She'll be
It's-
happier if she tries.
But their flesh is basically rancid swamp meat.
I know she's feeding it to something that would love that.
There's only one way for her to learn, and it's through experience.
Yeah. They're listening to us, but
Trust me, but it's better this way.
Okay, sir. Either way, the job's been handled. I don't believe we'll be approached.
Anybody wounded?
A few bumps and bruises, but they're already being tended to. Should be right as rain by the morning.
He nods. You done me proud, Kylo.
We live to please, sir.
You live to hunt. And you did well.
We'll probably want to send another group out this way sometime. There's probably a nest of them out there somewhere.
Well, I can wait for now. We're on a diplomatic mission.
Understood. Just want to make sure it gets marked for the future. I'll gladly head it up myself if you'd allow, sir.
Well, since you volunteer, I see no reason to deny you.
An honor.
He bows his head.
Who is this? Do I know this man's name?
Probably. Allow me to make one up for you.
Ooh.
Denevere Swain.
Denevere Swain. Well then, Hunter Swain, I leave the task to you.
Yes, sir.
He goes back about his business. Seemingly heads off, coordinates with a couple of his other Kylum officers to go find those that were searching for you in the nearby thickets. They apparently had organized a search party after you guys had disappeared.
Oh no, they didn't know we were gone. Oh, we didn't say anything. That's right.
Daenerys, did you tell us that we were going to actually be there?
Have I ever not been clear and upfront about what my magical capabilities are?
Often.
Perhaps I'm just forgetful then.
Wait. I'm not there. Never mind. I didn't say anything. In your mind, you heard me say that.
Nara, you do find them kind of building a pyre around these desiccated troll corpses. You can see the flesh of them slowly trying to knit itself together as they... the only parts that aren't healing themselves are those that are presently being burned by the pyre.
Okay. Oh, I should probably roll to know if that's a smart choice to eat it or not.
Yeah. Would be wise.
Yeah, what would I roll for that?
Nature check?
Or would I just know?
Nature check or survival check?
Let's try survival. 18.
You don't particularly like the taste of troll flesh. It tastes like... It kind of tastes of rotten egg and sulfur, and has this weird brackish aftertaste that it just leaves your mouth feeling unclean. And it's incredibly greasy and fatty.
Okay, would I know if that's a bad plan to feed to Loas or not?
You've never tried to feed him something like this. You've
Icky.
primarily fed him chicken and other like game animal.
Oh no, he has a refined palate.
Yeah, you
No.
unfortunately he only wants chicken nuggies.
Oh fuck.
And if they're dinosaur shaped, even better because it reminds them of him.
Ugh. Oh my god, okay. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna like walk up, like cleave a hunk of the meat off.
It
And
wiggles
then-
it wiggles in your hand like rancid jello.
She also wiggles it to add to the wiggliness. And then will walk up to a guard who's standing nearby, probably very confused.
Yeah, they're kind of holding their nose as you're bringing forth this very fervent meat.
She takes the parallax off for a second and goes, "Hey, hold this."
Okay.
Zoops right into it.
You see little ass kind of sleeping in their little ass house that you had built. He perks up seeing you or smelling you enter.
Who's a good baby? Hello. Oh, wow. You're so big right now. Hello, honey. You want to try some troll meat?
Sniff, sniff, snort.
You want to try it?
Kind of like sniffs it. Like it's almost like it's confused by the smell of the meat. It smells rotten, but it's confused because you're offering it.
Nara takes a bite and eats it.
Constitution save.
Oh shit. Oh god. 17.
Oh boy, you can keep it down.
Oh. Wow, okay, it's been a long time since she ate that. So she's gonna like she's gonna immediately pull back. Cover with the other hand, she's gonna put over her mouth and be like,
Oh, I've gotten soft. Oh. Wow.
There's just definitely better and easier to acquire meat.
she puts a finger up to little ass.
Mama's gonna be right back, okay?
Sniff, sniff.
Yes, and a nose pat for you.
And just zoops right back out.
Okay, and she's back.
Yeah, thanks.
And she just yanks it. Does the guard notice the bite mark on the troll meat?
They're more perplexed by the fact that you just zipped in and out of what looked to be a tiny globe.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, walks over to the fire and just yeets it right into the flames. Like, fuck that idea.
It sizzles and begins to turn to ash.
And she will go on a quick little forest jaunt to look for food.
All right, you're basically in field and hillland, so go ahead and give me a survival check.
Sweet. 15.
You're able to find some. You're able to find like a few animals. You're trying to find something big enough for little ass to really sink his teeth into. You stumble across a goat that's just kind
Nice.
of absent-mindedly chewing some grass on the side of a rocky outcropping of these hills.
Can I just zoop it into the parallax? Without even having to, like, fight it?
I'm going to give the goat a save, just because there is a save against creatures that don't want to, but it's probably not going to make it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still below a 10, so sure enough,
Jurassic
you
Park!
kind of pop up behind the goat. Meh. Meh. Goat pops up in the middle of a sunny, grassy field, very confused. Meh. Boom. 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 Meh. Crunch!
Rest in peace.
Nara's giant face is above the parallax, like,
Good baby.
Crunch, 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 crunch. He like kind of throws it up in the air, like half of the goat up in the air, just chomping it, playing with the body.
yeah.
We've all seen Jurassic Park. We know how
Yeah.
it happens.
It's true. And then she'll go back to camp, sad that troll meat is not as appealing as it once was. She's not like desperate for food all the time anymore, so troll meat isn't as quote unquote good as it used to be.
To be fair, even with nostalgia tinting your goggles, troll meat was never good per se.
It sounds like it tastes like kangaroo. You're really making it sound like kangaroo.
I mean, kangaroo actually tastes pretty all right. I mean, it basically tastes like venison.
Really? Then when I was in Australia, I had like the worst fucking tasting kangaroo burger because it like tasted like shit.
Wow. Probably very gamey.
Oh yeah, that was the problem. I was like shocked how gamey it was. That's where I was like, oh shit, I thought it was gonna be better. I guess I had a bad one.
I guess. Yeah, troll meat.
Anyway.
Not particularly good.
Lame.
Also, not exactly the easiest meat to come across. So it's like, why even? It's probably why they have no natural predator.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, you have the rest of the evening. You all rest up. Denier, you spend as much time as you desire in your dreamatorium.
Asmo asked Nara later in the evening. Okay, it's gonna sound like a weird question, but like, just being on the stairs, I've been stepping on and everything, but like the regular pants I'm wearing barely fit.
I know.
Yeah, no, but like you notice, like it's like I can't even move my hips to the side. I think it's about to rip anytime I ever try and do anything.
Oh
too
no! What will you do?
Yeah, what? Oh, what?
Why do you think I was so distracted?
More like
you're supposed to be scouting. Okay, whatever.
More like Asmo. More like Mo
Shit.
Ass.
More like big ass.
Boom.
More like
God.
ass.
Little ass, son of a bitch.
The next day comes quicker than you realize, and you're off on the trail again. The trail itself is pretty much unremarkable. By mid-afternoon, you arrive at Fallwood Barrow. The foresting town seems to be thriving due to its trade relationship with Silver Rock and the fact that this is pretty much the best place for you guys to get like your timber from, since the destruction and rebuilding of Wild's Edge took a lot of the forestry from that area. Seems a lot nicer than the ramshackled tiny town that you visited so earlier in your adventure. They have a bit more infrastructure now. They have a what appears to be a lumber mill working to produce planks and various carpentry goods.
Right, the city builder enthusiast in me is just going like, good. The supply chain's going pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. That's good. We have enough tools being built at the blacksmith, right? How's our mining supply? Okay.
Yeah, trade's been going good between here and Amber Glade and Silver Rock. There's a small contingent of soldiers here, just kind of like a southern, like a troop positioned here between here and the Wall and Amber Glade. A mixture of Silver Rock troops and Dragon's Rest, red and gold. But a fine place for your traveling party to stop for lunch. You catch up with Tobias Smith Sr., who's definitely getting up there in age now, but has taken on a few apprentices that now run his shop. since his son has pretty much taken up permanent residence over in Silver Rock. His wife is still happy and healthy.
It's good to know. God, what was it, episode 2 or 3 for that?
Episode 2 is when you got the elixir
Right.
from Maggie.
That's right. On our way to the wall. Oh, the maw. Sorry.
No, it was the
Long
wall.
ass time ago.
It is, in fact. Check out episode 2, True Believers. Anyway.
None of those fake believers, just the true ones.
Yeah. You find a little bit of rest here. You kind of break for lunch. A couple of your people break off towards the tavern. You actually run into a few other Kylum hunters who were here on assignment. They catch up with the retinue that you're traveling with. Share a quick bite. But then you continue on your way. And sure enough, by evening, you find yourself at the eastern edge of the mountain ranges, where as you pass through the forested area north of the Hexwood, I should say, since you're passing by that direction. Where is my sound for?
Denier would have stopped in during the quote-unquote lunch break, at least to just give Daniel Peaches a heads up on what's going on, that they're not going to be approaching the Hexwood, and they're, everything like that. Say hi to everybody and just head back.
That would have been a 4 or 5 hour journey, so I don't think you would have
never
made
mind
that.
then.
Let's see. I really do need to better organize these.
You're doing great.
Thank you. But yeah, you make it to the eastern eastern bank of the mountain pass as you begin traveling upward. Sure enough, just as Garrick had promised, as the sun begins to crest beyond the mountain above you, kind of as if like the peak of the most western mountain that you can see is cutting a wedge out of the sun. Beyond that, you see Garrick and a regimen of well-armored lizardmen bearing the insignia of the Dreadworm. Halt! The Garrick's voice cries out.
I think we halt.
Yep.
Who dares approach the Dreadworm?
I am Wolfgang Connolly, Lord of Silver Rock. We have come to offer tribute to the great Nidhog.
Allow us to inspect your hall.
Very well.
Are my sounds
This is
just
Yorick?
not playing? Yeah. Are you guys hearing
Yorick-
sound effects?
No,
Weird.
I'm hearing music.
I am not.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, me neither.
I am
That's
likewise not hearing anything.
weird. Audio, video. Yeah, it's on.
Wait, there we go.
Sorry, I'm refreshing to see if that does it.
I will do the same. Dun, 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 dun. Whoa.
Alright, I guess I have to unmute this one. Whatever.
Yorick will notice. Whoa. We'll notice that Nara is like totally regal nobility airs are on. As if a member of a royal family. That's how she's carrying herself today.
Oh, shit.
full pomp and circumstance.
So instead of gaslighting gatekeeping, she's goal bossing? That's what you're saying? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh,
Oof.
yeah. 100%.
Shit. That's the scariest one.
The regiment of lizardmen approach, led by Yorick. He stops at the front, kind of where Wolfgang is positioned, as the remaining lizardmen go to inspect the caravan. The cows are noticeably concerned as the lizards walk by carrying their spears. They look into the caravan. They speak in lizard tongue to each other. Asmo, you'd understand them being...
Lizard tongue? Is that like draconic or?
Nope. Lizard folk.
Oh, it's a whole different... Damn it.
Yeah, this is more...
What are those weirdos saying?
Yeah. Essentially something to the effect of,
"Holy shit, look at all this gold. I've never seen this much shine. Have you seen these gems? They bring liquor. Oh, a fine tribute for the Dreadworm."
Asmo just kind of nods and winks at Wolfgang, just with a little light thumbs up.
He'll just nod once, briefly.
They wander back to Yorick and deliver a report in Draconic. Broken Draconic. It seems that they're still learning the tongue. But they inform...
What are they saying?
They good...
I can understand them.
They good goods. They have good goods.
Oh.
Shiny good goods. They pass.
Right.
Good for Lord Nidhog.
And now they like what we're bringing.
And Yorick nods. He kind of gives a hand signal for the lizard folk, and they begin to surround your contingent as you are escorted up the mountain pass. Along the way, you pass by a number of essentially what could be seen as territorial shrines or warning signs, and the inevitable strewn up skeletons held in what appear to be poses threatening those that any who travel this way are likely to be faced with death if their travel is not permitted. You see humanoid skeletons of all shapes and sizes in various contorted positions hanging in horrific effigy. But inevitably you are brought upwards into the mountain, the air getting warmer and thicker as you travel, to the point where you begin to smell that familiar, sickening, sulfurous scent in the air of volcanic brew. And your caravan is parked in what is essentially the gathering area of the Colossus Kuldara. What was once the home of the Dogad now holds an entire encampment of lizard folk. Looking around, there appear to be hundreds in this community now.
Just before we get any further into this, the Heroes Feast situation, did we utilize that before we
Would you utilize that before showing it off as a gift?
Oh, it was a gift. Never mind.
Your goods begin to get unloaded. as the caravan wagons themselves will not fit into the gaping maw of the cave sitting before you, in which those of you who had been to the future would recognize as the nesting ground of the red dragon. Yorick dictates that your soldiers will wait out here while the dignitaries may go inside. They will be safe. They will not come to harm, so long as you do not anger the great Nidhog.
We'll do our best.
The soldiers and the members of the Kylum Diaboli hang together. The soldiers much more on edge than the members of the Kylum, but you can tell that there's still kind of a stoic nervousness to them as well. While they are well-trained monster hunters, this is a situation in which they are very much surrounded by a group of militant, relatively intelligent creatures. Speaking of relatively intelligent creatures, a bunch of fire newts are still kind of hovering around the camp, just waddling around. You kind of have to watch your step, as they are essentially like stupid cats in that they do try to get underfoot from time to time.
It just sounds like regular cats. Cats sometimes. What if I was the floor?
Oh my god. Thank God Nara's on Pixie Stick and doesn't have to watch her footing. Can keep up those regal airs real easy when you never have to put your feet on the ground.
The chests of gold and jewels are carried by the lizard folk as you begin to march inward towards Nidhog's lair. As you make it inside the mouth of the first cave, you see inside the crude sculpture of a great dragon mouth that leads into the second entryway towards Nidhog's lair. As you step in the crude jaw, you walk up some very crudely carved steps. And into the fiery chamber of the Dreadworm.
So would you say Dogan's cave is being expanded upon a little bit? Yeah?
A wee bit. It seems they've gone through some decorating. 1 second, need to grab all of these pieces. On your way in through the mouth of the cave, you do catch a glimpse of the Arcanaton, who gives you a shallow nod as you wander in. And sure enough, with your gifts in hand, the gifts themselves kind of move ahead of you as you are ushered beyond a fiery pit of magma. On the other side, you see what appears to be a small pile, not nearly as large of a pile of gold as had been there in the future, but rustling beneath it, a great long red neck stretches out from beneath the gold, and you are face to face with the Dreadworm, Nidhog.
This again. Motherfucker!
Wait, was that last part? You cut out Nick on my end.
You're face to face with the dragon.
Oh, okay. Shit, okay, right.
The moment his face and eyes come up, Nara bows so that her eyes aren't up meeting his. Makes a big show of it, too.
Asmo dips his head as well.
Wolfgang will bow.
Dinir follows suit.
The dragon breathes out a long breath of somehow even hotter air than the bubbling, broiling heat that is around you.
Who comes to my territory?
And here is where we will end today's session.